All right. So, I'm back with weekly readings to see what comes up in a week or whatever the case may be. Let's see, or whatever the case may be. I got some positive affirmation cards or whatever the case may be because I said a lot of stuff a lot of people was going through. It was like a lot though. Like a lot of people just from like every reading from the monthly to the what was it to the monthly to the love readings. Like it was a lot though, but I said I'm gonna see what comes out and pick three, and we're gonna go out that energy and see what else is going on, and then we just gonna see or whatever what is, you know. I'm gonna read the little affirmation at the end of the reading, like the explanation on the back of the card or whatever the case may be. Necessarily though, damn, I gotta set my camera right. I really do. Oh well, I got the table crooked. Don't worry about it. Don't get too accustomed to this background. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I said it was a lot though, and I was like, damn. Like it was, I was like, damn, what is really going on? Or whatever the case may be. So that's why I said we're gonna get us about three cards or whatever the case may be. I said necessarily rolling because this whole year outside of COVID has really been like rough. It is safe to look within. That's why I said, like, outside of, like, if COVID didn't even happen, just, like, the jump off of just everything that was, like, necessarily going on. Like, whoo, shit. I'm going to charge it. Wait a minute, y'all. I got to get my charger. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Wait. Woo. All right. I had to get my charger, girl. Because, whoo. I thought it was over. But now I said if COVID necessarily didn't hit, this year was going to be rough as fuck, like to begin with anyway. Like rolling into the 20s, rolling into the 2s, because I said this year is all about partnerships and all those different types of things, relationship, harmony, conflict, removing a lot of things from your lives or whatever, because a lot of people that was around, or we talking about the purge, the removal of the mask, all those different types of things, other things, the martyr, the victim, like all that shit that we learned like from the last year that I was pushing, it actually helped a lot of people for this year. A lot of people really didn't necessarily get that information or whatever the case may be, but if COVID didn't happen, this year was still gonna be rough as fuck for some people. Okay, all my relationships are in harmony. I read the back when we finish. We're just gonna see what these cards about. I deserved the best and I accept the best now. That's why I said a lot of people necessarily were like going through karmic cycles, relationships, people doing the same thing over and over again. Like I said, necessarily dealing with the COVID type energy. This nigga cutting grass outside, so you hear it in the background. That's not me. But dealing with that though, with COVID being in with COVID coming into I'm waiting on this nigga to move. But no, I said with COVID coming into play, like a lot of people in relationships, like they were really struggling or whatever the case may be, because like I said, a lot of people are experiencing conflicts with people, whatever the case may be. A lot of people are necessarily energetically looking for a home. Like from my perspective, like I said, like for the first 48 days of COVID, I had to do a lot of banishing, like energetically, because it was just people just like, oh, okay, well, I get to come over there with you. I can do this. I'm like, no, the fuck you can't. And a lot of people had to learn like consequences of their actions, so a lot of shit was just annoying as hell, because it was like everybody was in like the magician reverse, concocting the inner narcissism. Like when it's Leo season, like a lot of people cards are upright, reverse when it comes to like the sun and just the strength, just dealing with that Leo energy of other cards. Like a lot of people were necessarily like in this energy of just chaotic or whatever the case may be. Ooh, got the Emperor being reversed. See what that's about though. But yeah, that's what I said. Whoo, child. If COVID didn't even necessarily happen, this year necessarily was going to be, it was going to be rough regardless, and a lot of people necessarily didn't recognize it or whatever the case may be. So yeah. Alright, so I got all my cards out or whatever the case may be, and mind you the background. The number that we got Shit, I said the number. The number 13. I think I posted about this on my Twitter, whatever the case may be, while I was talking about that number 13, scorpionic type energy, transformations, energies, being able to get to below the surface or whatever the case may be, especially those hidden emotions, resentment, possessive jealousy, sinister, controlling, masochistic type behavior from different type of people. So this is the overall mood necessary to maybe the week. I don't know if some of y'all gonna be dealing with Aries, Capricorn, Taurus, any goddamn verse. It got all the signs out here, whatever case may be. So I don't know necessarily, but the overall mood is scorpionic. So I don't know necessarily if that's like the people who you're gonna be pertaining to, or this message is necessarily for, or Leo, or just utilizing these in this season. Okay. Energy for the week. You got Strength, Two of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Some of y'all are necessarily trying to, like I said, partnerships, businesses, contracts, or whatever the case may be. Some of y'all may be looking over certain things that you necessarily may have missed. It could be lovers coming back into alignment, trying to bring back that love, ascend, to grow, to step into a space of happiness. Because you do got the Nine of Cups, though. I wish it was a wand, so it could have been something about it, though. But it could just be necessarily honoring the emotions. But you did get the Two of Wands before the Nine of Cups. So some of y'all are actively, like, gathering up strength to be able to make the decisions, to be able to sign on to something. You mean say especially contractually, or it could be marriages, love, renewal, all those different types of things. That's what kind of just gets me though, or just healing, making a decision to heal and necessarily ascend, like letting go of all the dead weight. Because I tell you, I like about each Scorpionic card that comes up in any deck. It's kind of like you always see trash, or it's kind of like the stumpy, the Phoenix energy, being able to rise, ascend, and being able to persevere, to be able to move forward, to let go of that dead ass weight. So I like that though. So let's see what comes out for the week. Ugh. You got Nine of Wands. All right. Ugh. Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. On top of this card, you hear me say this, like right here, or whatever the case may be. Wait a minute, I'm trying to pick this motherfucker up. What is it at? It is safe to look within, or whatever the case may be. With the Nine of Wands, it kind of gives me though like somebody's very defensive or emotionally guarded. Like when it comes to like doing the action, somebody may feel like they're wounded. Like a lot of people necessarily, when they're trying to heal, go within. A lot of people necessarily get stuck in those emotions to where they become apathetic and they don't necessarily apply the change that is needed for them to be able to persevere. Because some people just necessarily see the darkness and don't know how to move and keep going, so they end up becoming defensive about certain things that they necessarily should change and don't change, so they end up staying stuck. This could be necessarily with the Nine of Wands. Sometimes a person could be a victim of circumstances of their own pain, where they make themselves a victim. Because you had a Queen of Pentacles here too, so this is no roots. This is somebody that necessarily could be a mom or a person. Like I said, a lot of financial matters that has been going on. Like seeing how you give somebody privilege over you, to see where it's necessarily defensive. Some of y'all could be trying to block out this energy, or whatever the case may be. It could be a person, you hear me say, necessarily that takes your energy or leave you drained, necessarily like clearing up, like bringing yourself into a new alignment, like that. Because you do got Page of Wands though. So some of y'all may be having like some problems with the dynamic of relationships with other people, children, like all those different things, or financial type matters. But Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles does suggest to me though, like somebody trying to block somebody out their life, or you always have to be on defense around somebody to protect yourself by any means, because it's kind of like this problematic type behavior. Over here, all my relationships are harmonizing. You got the Emperor, where a lot of people think harmony is always going to be 10 of cups. You got Emperor and Empress. A lot of people necessarily don't recognize like how the people in their life mirror them, especially with the Lovers card. Like how they could be chaotic, or the people that they necessarily align themselves with, like that defensive type energy, staying too long, and that Scorpionic type behavior to where they stay too long, wondering like, why is this not happening? What's going on? Da 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 da. Why we're not pushing towards happiness? The Emperor is rigid. The Emperor is rigid, closed off. He could be emotionally, like she could be emotionally manipulative. He could be action based. Like it's the same. They give each other the same thing. The lack of doubt, the lack of control. It's both. It's kind of like both of these people are necessarily the same, and they don't see it. It could be you trying to bring back your feminine or masculine energy, or a person, or a mom. Like a lot of people necessarily, when they're trying to heal family trauma, or soul trauma or just connecting to the idea of others. Like their idea of happiness could be what somebody else projected the reality onto them or whatever case may be. Because I sure been getting at a lot, like the negative aspects of the number six. Like a lot of people been in relationships with people and they kind of like, I don't like them. And a lot of people are waking up and saying, well, you kind of act like my mom and you act like my dad or da 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 da. Like for the people that's there, like saying, this is not what I want. I'm living out somebody else's lifetime. Because you have the tower here too, because at some point somebody is kind of content with a situation. It may not be as big as other people on a spiritual journey. It may just be necessarily trying to keep from going to an explosive type space, because a lot of people necessarily don't know how to communicate. It really does though. But both of y'all mirror each other, or you and your masculine and feminine energy are mirroring each other at that point, because it's kind of like, damn, can somebody save me? You got Seven of Cups reversed. Seven of Cups gives me necessarily, like you hear me say, staying too long in that scorpionic type energy. Okay, I'm trying to change. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to push forward, to where you necessarily don't take a break. I say work when you don't want to, not when you're tired. A lot of people push this narrative to where a lot of people taking this healing aspect on as like entrepreneurship. I'm going to grind. I'm going to do this. No, if spirit don't want you to touch it, you don't want to touch it. You just creating unnecessary lessons in your life. Because you also have the Hierophant and the Ten of Swords. So that's why I said it's all about learning these type of matters, or whatever the case may be, like being emotionally clear about choosing the things you want to do, whether that's contractually, emotionally, school, learning, moving forward. Like this is what it is. Like some people are being thrusted, like some people are necessarily being thrusted into positions of saying, you need to be a teacher, or you getting that calling and you necessarily don't like it when you're dealing with people who are in control. That it's kind of like you're being forced to be that person in a position of power. You kind of like, I don't like it. So you could be equally rigid, or whatever the case may be, to leave from that perspective, or necessarily like you see people who talk about people so much that they end up doing the same thing and now fixing that narrative. So the same people that they talk about saying, oh, well, she's fake, they become these emperors in positions and be the same fake person. So necessarily, that's why I said some of y'all may be coming up with that though, like the Ace of Swords or whatever the case may be. It's reversed. That's what it gives me, like some old contractual type matters or situations, or in the home front, or some of y'all may be necessarily emotionally burnt out by a parent or a person, and you just like, oh, okay, I'm over it. Like this shit is really getting on my nerves. You got Four of Swords and the Six of Swords. Yeah, this is kind of cocky though. Like with the Emperor and the Empress being first, it's kind of like cocky though. Like it gets me cocky though, because the Four of Swords being reversed and the Six of Wands is kind of like somebody like, oh well, they gonna let me do it anyway. Like look at the Page of Pentacles, they gonna let me do it. It's kind of like a person that learns somebody else's behavior better than them, so they know how to come back and like fuck with them. Because somebody doesn't necessarily know how to stand their ground. Because when they stand their ground, they stand their ground from a defensive type place. Ace of Wands and the Hermit. That's why I said, yeah. Didn't I say that though? I was like, somebody learned somebody, or you learning somebody else to see how it is. Like it took you some wisdom to be able to sit back and say, yeah, I'm finna get ready to move. For some of y'all, necessarily when it comes to y'all in like creative type matters or businesses or contracts, some of y'all going back to the drawing board, because certain shit that you necessarily didn't think have no value is actually a valuable type thing. Not necessarily all of it, but say for instance, like if you wrote a book or something, or necessarily you had like writer's block and you was trying to like push a script, and it's something that you wrote and you kind of like stumbling across, you kind of like, oh, I can insert this and I can do this, and it actually fits. For some of y'all, it's this when like negotiating when it comes to like contractual type matters or things. Going back to the relationship aspect, team, partnerships, King of Cups, and the Four of Wands. I think for some of y'all, necessarily, y'all were leaving one situation with the hope to only move forward from a defensive type state, to only meet the same type of person, to teach you how to be fulfilled on the inside. Because a lot of people got jail talk and that COVID energy with a lot of people saying, okay, well, this is the one. This is it. Only to get over there and like in positions to where you may have met friends or being in a relationship with certain people that mirror a part of who you used to be, to put you in a position to say, okay, you got to fix this. And you kind of like, well, I didn't come over here to do this. Like, you kind of like, I didn't come over here to do this. Like, I just came to do this. Like, that Nine of Cups. Like, you was like, whoo. Like, I didn't come over here to do this. I just came to do this. Ace of Swords, that's why I said some of y'all, it could be a friend or a person or necessary. It just gets me like somebody that went through something. High Priest is being reversed. Wait a minute. Damn. Wait a minute. Damn. I'm trying to get my words out. Alright, I'm gonna put this dick down. Alright, okay, boom. Some of y'all been through something and y'all necessarily got the chance to be able to moving forward or whatever, going towards, like if it's a new relationship, if it's new love, moving necessarily getting some sort of newness. The problem that's arise, it mirrors a point where you was on your old cycle or where you used to be, to where somebody necessarily like, I really didn't come over here for this. Like, I just came to enjoy the good times. I just wanted to do this. Like, I didn't know it came with this, and that's what's like gonna build effective partnerships in business or in relationships, to where some people just necessarily just stubborn. Because Eight of Swords with the High Priestess, though, some of y'all may be with the Hierophant, some of y'all may be trying to seek counsel or some sort of divinity from a person necessarily, and not knowing, like trusting your intuition because you were so gun-ho in the Nine of Cups. Like, you see this, you see all that I'm worth, this is what I am. Like somebody's pitching themselves to somebody, and so when it put you in the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords, you was kind of like, you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like some sort of reveal, because you got two reveals. High Priestess does speak about like revealing certain things, the things that was hidden in the contract. Like some of y'all may have been in an old contract or whatever necessarily, where you didn't have the freedom to be able to do the things that you want to do. And you getting in a contract or moving in with something where it brings you more money, but just because you have a bad experience that tethered to where this emperor took advantage of you, you kind of like, hell no. So there may be a deal breaker to where somebody necessarily like fucking up a deal or whatever the case may be, because somebody doesn't know how to negotiate properly. For some of y'all in a relationship, it's kind of like getting in a relationship and somebody flares up something that may be like a tiny speckle of what you experience, and it's kind of like somebody like, no, all stops, I'm out this bitch, I'm ready to leave. Because you got the Moon and the Hanged One. That's what I said. For some of y'all, it's revealing certain things, like hidden, finding out, contractual type things. Like, it's no, like you getting everything on the front end. Like you sit down, like, if somebody came to you, they putting everything out on the table, and somebody's like, oh, well, this is what I gotta deal with, because they're so accustomed to shit being hidden from them, and they have to go into this hangman reverse position to always be in this, well, I guess I gotta work through it, you know, that scorpionic type behavior, like challenging themselves to get to the bottom of that, and that's lower vibrational. So when it comes to contractual type things, it's like learning to be a teacher or a person, and like getting everything under wraps. So that's what kind of gets me though, like necessarily though, because I said, baby, these cycles has been like smacking the shit out of our ass. You got Ace of Pentacles. I told you I like that though. For some of y'all, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and the Three of Cups. For some of y'all, contractually or whatever the case may be, some of y'all necessarily, it just gives me like a division though. It's kind of like somebody's more focused on the material, somebody's more focused on the actual success and the work that goes into it. So it's kind of like two different people with two different motives, but it actually applies the same way, because you got a lot of fire energy and a lot of cups. So that's fire and passion, and that shit does go together when it's like executed properly. But when you have two people that's necessarily not on the same page, it's going to be caused they're fighting and arguing about the same thing, or whatever the case may be. And like, well, let me go over here and let me ask this person. Well, let me go over here and say this. Let me go over, and it's like everybody keeps saying the same thing. You kind of like, I don't want to hear this, or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like they're not saying it because these people are not of the same people. And I'm not talking about somebody preying on you, because this doesn't give me sneaky or manipulative. Now, if you were talking to this Queen of Pentacles, on the other hand, that motherfucker, I think that's why you trying to block them out. Like, I ain't telling this motherfucker. Like, hell no. Every time I tell you, you start calculating up my motherfucking money. That's kind of like you got a new job and you got some money. This motherfucker start counting your money up, everything, and you know you just can't enjoy the fruits of your labor, because this person wants what they want. So that's what I'm kind of getting for that. That's why you blocking somebody else out. Kind of like, I can't listen to you right now. I'm gonna go over here to this person or whatever, and the other person necessarily the same what everybody else saying. You kind of like, you too, like that's the energy kind of giving me. Like, you too, damn it. And it don't give me like constructed. I will say that though. So let's see what comes out on this part though. I'm gonna pick these cards up. Or should I leave them down? What that is on the bottom of the deck? I like this. The Empress up right after the Ace of Pentacles and those 3 of Wands. So I'm going to keep the same deck down. This is the Empress. I'll tell you, it's kind of like the solar plex, the galaxies. Some of y'all may believe that the world revolve around you. Or some of y'all necessarily may be trying to negotiate for things to move in your favor. If it has something to do with traveling, like the Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, like somebody may be trying to negotiate certain deals. Well, I can do this many times. I can do this, because the home, the Four of Wands. Somebody may be leaving out the home aspect. So this is where the Queen of Pentacles is more reliant on the finances that somebody necessarily can bring to them instead of any goddamn thing, because they're not actually supportive. Or the Queen of Pentacles, this energy, male or female, is not necessarily supportive. All right, let's go. Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and you got the Ace of Pentacles again. Now I said, damn. Some of y'all necessarily, though, this week, it's that energy of, I'm telling you, some of y'all in a relationship with people, certain things from the past, and it flared up, certain wounds, certain triggers for you, and you kind of like, I don't want to deal with this, and I'm out. And some of y'all finna walk out like on help, blessings, partnerships, connections with certain people that can like actually bless you because of the old connection. If it's love, some of y'all gotta be able to say, okay, why is this triggering me? How can I go within? Am I actually being the person I need to be to bring harmony into this? Do I feel like I deserve what it is that I need? Because you got Hermit in reverse. Hermit in reverse is kind of like the fear of going within, and the Ten of Swords energy. It's kind of like isolating yourself from a sense of truth, but at the same time, you're tiring yourself out and not coming up to breathe for a sense of air, and that scorpionic type energy to where somebody may be making themselves a martyr in a situation that does not require them to be. That's what it kind of gives me, though, because it goes back to the Ace of Swords and the Three of Cups. Stress, double martyr, double victim in this situation where we talked about the martyr necessarily rose into what I put on the board, because it's on my other phone. Let me get it fixed. We talked about how sometimes people congratulate the sense of the martyr, where we were talking about like the superhero, and most times where the Clark Kent, Supergirls, and all those different ones where they necessarily didn't get to have a chance in life because they chose to keep themselves secret or apart from society, but also wanted to save them. So it created this disdain of emotions to be able to connect with the people that they say. So it felt more like a job and an obligation. So it's kind of like that type of energy. It is, though, and I was like, that's more in the sympathy aspect, because empathy will be able to say, okay, I can create a time. If this is going on, I still can be able to have a life. That's what I said. That's what I said. Some of y'all, the negotiations, as I said in the monthly energy, some of y'all was taking family problems and bringing this shit to business where it's affecting you. Dead ass. Okay, you got the Tower upright in the sun. I said that, though, shaking some shit up. And the moon, though, and the sun. Like, look at the sun being blocked by the moon. Though I said, it's kind of like the moonology cards. Conclusions are within reach, and it's creating a sense of eclipse, but you can't see it because you kind of like, I know, but I can't see. Some of y'all are necessarily doing that in this process or whatever, because you got like a tower type moment with the sun and the moon here. So that's why I said, like, some of y'all are happy about certain things, know that you can accomplish certain things, but you have this, like, unwarranted, the moon card, the fears, the worries, this illusion. Disillusion, that's what kind of gives me, though. It's disillusion. All right, let's go. Hierophant, Five of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles reverse. As I said, some of y'all trying to find yourself in certain grounds. You're trying to see how could you make things conform to you, or necessarily learn how to make things work, because Five of Pentacles speaks of like not being able to relate or being in connections of others, because you have the Queen of Pentacles reverse as well. Some of y'all did a lot of things that was risky for money, got in relationships with people who necessarily wasn't there, who didn't want to grow, and some of y'all are doing the same thing to other people in your life and you don't know where it's coming from. And somebody's like, well, why don't you commit a little bit more? You kind of like, no. And you're doing the same thing that you complain about with an ex, a mom, a dad, a parent. You're doing, projecting that same shit onto them and don't even recognize it, because you kind of like, no, because I don't want to deal with this. Or a partner, could be a person, but it's kind of like somebody else doing that. Knight of Wands. That's why I say some of y'all necessarily, some of y'all still in that hood mentality. Can I say that though? Because 90 Sword speaks of a God complex, a criminal. Some of y'all maybe still out here trying to jug and finesse to get some money. That's all I gotta say. And some of y'all trying to go legit, and y'all still want to like bring the hood lifestyle to the regular lifestyle, and it's not working. That's not. It's definitely not. Like, it's not. So it's because I ain't gonna say it's not working, because you may get hella money from jigging and finessing to be able to create a successful business, but the business mind and the aspect or whatever, because of the paranoia to be in that lifestyle to say, well, I'm out here, I'm doing drugs, this different type of stuff, and trying to go legit, is creating this unwarranted paranoia in the midst of like legit business. Is they getting over on me? Is they doing this? And it's like everything's out in front of you, everything. And if it's like fears or worries, that's where negotiation comes in, where you're able to sit down and talk. But like I said, some of y'all in a relationship with partners who do y'all doing the same thing, because you got King of Cups upright again. Some of y'all going after what it is that you love, or some of y'all loving from an aspect of how, like if you was a woman and a dude asks you commit, and you were just dating somebody who doesn't commit, you doing this to somebody else because that person want to commit to you. If this is a masculine and you were used to a woman that necessarily caters, or you taking care of everything, and she's kind of like, I got it, and you think it's a problem because you say, no, I'm just trying to leave, I'm trying to do this. She's like, I got it, or whatever the case may be. That's a problem, where somebody thinking like, oh, well, she don't appreciate me. You know how like people say all this nut ass shit, and it's just like, what do you mean? Like, don't nobody feel that way. You got 10 of Cups reverse. That's why I said it was just good. What the fuck happened? But I think this too, just not like with not wanting to emotionally look within. I'm telling you, it really does though. It just gets me that though. It's just like emotionally not wanting to look within, because you got Chariot and 3 of Swords reversed. Damn, can you see it though? Y'all, when I get this ring light, I told you I'm gonna have my makeup on and shit like that. Make sure my hair on. You know, I'm gonna make sure I put my eyelashes on for y'all. But okay, so I'm gonna give me a little this, and y'all gonna be like, oh, okay. I'm gonna show my face then. Right now, I'm like, girl, no. I don't even care. You need the messages or not. You got Chariot and the 3 of Swords reverse. For me, again, it's that energy of the same thing. Like somebody's trying to be able to push forward by any means necessary. Like they got the strength. They got the willpower. They're trying to be able to move. Some of y'all treating healing like it's a goal at the end. Oh, this doesn't hurt anymore. Only for something to come up in your life that's not intentionally trying to hurt you, put you in a blockage space, and you kind of like, what is this? What is this? Because the Emperor, you hear me say necessarily, it's controlling. Some of y'all could have came from domestic violence relationship and in a relationship with somebody else. And it's like now your insecurity is where you're emotionally abusing somebody that never done nothing to you. Some of y'all could have been in a relationship with a person where necessarily they could have just been overly controlling. A partner who don't believe in you. And it's like both of y'all working on the same page. I said that though. I said that in the energy reading. But I said I was going to give y'all the positive patterns though, because we going to break it down. You got 8 of Wands, being able to move forward by any means necessary. 5 of Swords though. Let's see what comes out after that. Alright, because we finna ready to wrap this up. You got Temperance, the Hanged Muse, and the Fool again. God damn. Whatever offer, opportunity, whatever it is that's on the table, necessary, whatever insecurities, whatever it is, I just think it's coming from a place of somebody that doesn't want to be tied down to something. It gives me like you were in a contract or had something dealing with an old boss, and what this person is asking from you from a contractual type matter that's going to bring a sense of finances. Or it's kind of like somebody like, no, it's kind of like that's a deal breaker for them or whatever the case may be. And they don't know, somebody don't know how to negotiate in business. Your fears, your anxieties, that's where you come in and say, oh, well, we got to be on the road for like 6 months. Can we chop it down to 3? And I could do 30 days, motherfucker, straight, 90 days. You get the same thing. And somebody say, well, how could that go? Well, I'm willing to give it up this much instead of going 6 months. And I still don't get to spend the time at home. Like, that's that type of shit where you use them fears and you utilize that shit. Or whatever the case may be, where you able to say that or whatever. Nah, I don't want to do this. Okay, well, you trying to give me a social media sponsor, da da da. How many times I gotta post? Because I really don't like being on social media because I don't know how to get off of it. Why? Okay, well, you do this every time we got something new. We just put you in the ads. Like that type of thing. It's like some of y'all don't know how to negotiate because it's in your fears. You don't know how to say, well, I need this. Like some of y'all need to just, let me tell you something. If you ever in the business, just channel my energy to where you just need to project that shit forward. I wouldn't have no problem with that. Don't channel my energy when you're sick and you're going through something. Channel my energy when you're trying to like nut up. Okay? Anywho, but yeah, though I say, yeah, Five of Swords. It's kind of like this fighting for peace, trying to be on the same page because it's kind of like one hand washes the other. Going back to the hang muse, trying to tie things up, and somebody's being caught up on minor things. And then it goes back to the fool, where somebody's like, I don't know, because somebody don't see the risk in it, because fool is a number 0. I told you 0 can be an infinitive number, however you apply. 0 looks like nothing until them checks start rolling in. 0 looks like nothing when you first put out your first YouTube video and you ain't getting number 1 or 2 views, and then it jump in a couple months and you getting 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000. The money start rolling in. Then right, that's when you took that risk, you ain't believe in it then. Like that's the shit where people fail to recognize when it be coming to taking a risk or whatever, because somebody's taking personal into business and they don't know how to negotiate from their state of fears and worries. But relationships though, y'all doing the same shit that your ex did to you, and y'all may say, no I'm not, no I'm not. Well, why the car's saying that? No I'm not, Marsha, I'm not doing that to him. That's just how I love. No, that's not your love language. You like somebody to love you that way, and you get mad when they don't love you that way because you doing shit that your ex did for you or your mama did for you and you didn't communicate. Well, this is the way I like to be loved. Babe, can we do this? Can we do that? And then giving that person the room to be able to do that for you. But some of y'all got like that expectation, that 9 of cups, because I told you I like it in the modern witch, wherever that dick is. Where the fuck is it? I don't know. It was in my bed. I don't know. But where you see like the little girl, she got her feet crossed, and it just gives me the image of like it's tapping. Like the car don't move, y'all know that. But it just gives me the energy like she tapping like, my mom didn't come to my recital. She was supposed to be here. And then they show up and the whole pouty face change when they get what they want. Because the card is all about dreams fulfillment, things happening in a way, like the emotional fulfillment type card. It's like damn near at the 9, but it's kind of like, okay, where you almost see the ending of what you put in emotionally. And some of y'all with the Scorpionic type energy, the number 9 is all about karma, resolutions, all those different types of things or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like being in the number 9 energy. Some of y'all feel like this ain't good enough. Oh, and the 7 was completely turned. All right, okay. So going back to all this, it is safe to look within. Some of y'all don't want to look within to see what is necessarily a problem with you, because it's kind of like the people that's around you. Because what people got to recognize, when you get people who fuck with you, they not gonna tell you what to do. They not. A person who always trying to tell you what to do, they don't believe that you can fucking do it. Now sometimes them people that don't tell you what to do, sometimes they have moments where they be like, I got it, don't worry about it. But it's not a continuation to violate your boundaries. They don't go into emperor type mode. Okay, let me read it back. As I move through the layer of other people's opinions and belief, I see within myself a magnificent being, wise and beautiful. I love what I see in me. Let me show y'all the bag. I don't know if you can see it. Girl, this lighting is trashy in this bitch. I'll tell you, I'm gonna get me a ring light. That shit looks ugly as hell. Not the car. I'm talking about the lighting in this bitch. Okay. All my relationships are in harmony. So I like that they are harmonizing, are harmonious. So that's kind of like what you give is what you receive. The original manifestation, sowing the seeds of what you reap. The churchy style. When we create harmony in our minds and heart, we will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer always. Dead ass, I'm telling you. And my favorite video on the internet is when that dude, he's sitting outside and he's smoking a cigarette in that white lawn chair and it is raining. The shit is pouring down, but he don't give a fuck. My second video was where them folks out to eat and it's just the rain is going down. Them people at peace. They came to eat. Their rain ain't got shit to do with them because they knew what they came to do. Some of y'all gotta learn how. Even if, because we get caught up on this or whatever case may be. Well, I done the work. My environment is not a reflection of what I is. How you maintain your peace in the midst of chaos? If you let the outer affect you, it's you gonna eventually participate in the chaos to where you kind of gonna be like, I'm sick of this fake ass bitch, but you participating in it. Like, that's the weirdest shit though. That's why I said, so we gotta like take that. I deserve the best. I deserve the best, and I accept the best now. I told you, it's kind of like a flower, sowing the seeds you reap. I am mentally and emotionally equipped to enjoy a prosperous and loving life. It is my birthright to deserve all good, all good. I claim my good. Shit, I said that wrong. I claim my good. So that's why I said some of y'all gotta recognize though, because we get so caught up on this like financial, money, bullshit, whatever the case may be, even when it comes to happiness or relationships. Some of y'all don't even know how to be friends. Like, for real. Then y'all be saying, well, why I ain't got no friend? Sweets, that's a conversation for another day. Because, let me tell you something. I noticed that in every 8-8 portal, my shadow has came out to reap. And it has been, like, laying some harsh truths. And I was like, ooh, damn. But it does come out to play sometimes. Because a lot of people been getting on my nerves. I told y'all that. But, yeah, that's it, though. That's what I said. Remember that. As I move. Oh, shit. Is that it? It is safe to look within. Some of y'all don't believe that you can look within. Remember that last release. All my relationships are harmonious. Even if you feel like they ain't even a reflection of you. If you don't have peace within and the chaos, like if you don't know how to have peace within the midst of chaos, because we get so caught up on a reflection of wanting the inner to look on the outside that sometimes it's not. It's just how you maintain your peace within. That is how you get caught up in a shit show. Like dead ass. I deserve the best. And I accept the best now. So that's why I said some of y'all just gotta take that leap. Some of y'all gotta take that leap. Alright? So this is y'all weekly energy reading. I hope these positive affirmations help y'all. I'm going to put them in the bottom. I'm going to put them in the comments. So, yeah, I'm going to put them in the comments. So, yeah. I'm going to try to screenshot them, see can I post it on my thing or whatever case may be. So, yeah. So, bye.